the law. So I kind of feel like today's going to get out of hand.
Maybe a little.
But I'm going to just start with, I was thinking about this today. So it's getting warm again, which you know means my hair goes bonkers. So when I used to live in New York, we all know about my New York days, I used to have to go on interviews for jobs because retail, they hire and fire constantly. And of course, you know, one day your bag is wrong. So they say, move on. So I was interviewing for a job and I started to realize as I worked with recruiters and interviewers that if I went in with curly hair, I was less likely to get a call back.
Really?
But if I went in with my hair blown out straight, I would get like the call back or the whatever.
So you could never get a job in the summer then because
exactly. So summer was like a no-fly zone. So, and half the time, the funny thing is, it was kind of lucky. I would be like out of work during the summer, and it was nice because then I wasn't really in a rush to get a job, right? So I would go to these interviews or whatever, and they'd start in the fall, but the fall is just as bad in New York City. So I'd have these like poodle hair that I was in my little tiny New York bathroom that was already hot because everything is just space air conditioners in there with my like trying to like get all the curl out of my hair so that I could get there and it would like poof again and I'd be sweaty and it was a mess. And it was such a thing for me. And I was always thinking about it, like my curly hair versus my straight hair and could I get through the interview and whatever. And so I think as professional women, we're always trying to walk that tightrope. Like, is what I'm wearing right? Is what I'm wearing like appropriate? And you want to be feminine. So you want to like, I'm hourglass shaped. So of course, like there's only so much I can do. Plus in fashion, are you a sample size? Like my boobs were too big. So I didn't get a job at like Christian Dior because I wasn't sample sized. But you know, like what are you gonna do about that?
Right.
Like that's
Nothing.
my body.
Yeah.
Zero. When I worked at Barney's New York, their sizes were like maybe up to a 10. I mean, it was crazy. So like you were constantly working this battle with yourself and your self-image. And like at Barney's, there was this whole thing where they brought in this line. It was called Procreation. And they were the buyers who were all like as big as a minute. Were super excited to announce it to us because they were like, oh, now all your clients who are shopping the accessories floor and complain about not having something to wear, you know, they can shop this line Procreation, which based on its name, we all know what that meant. It was the pregnancy line. It was the maternity line that like Cindy Crawford was doing I think it was Cindy Crawford doing the like pregnancy ad for. But they were like, but if you're a little chunky, you can wear the maternity stuff at Barney's.
I don't even know how I would react if a salesperson was like, hey, but try this.
Try the Procreation
this
line.
might fit your head.
So that was my experience in fashion in New York. All the fun stuff aside, like that was like crazy. And so I think I constantly struggle with that in my day-to-day life as a professional because immediately if I'm going to something important, I think, oh, I've got to straighten my hair. Is my hair straight enough? Do I have a flat iron with me? Have I like gotten it keratined? Have I done this? And then I'll put something on. I actually got feedback once from an interview that my top, because when I bent over, was a little too low and she thought I was dressed slutty. And it was a McNamara drape top front. Like, I don't know what to do about that. But like, because I had boobs and I like moved over the table to do something, I was slutty. So it's a very awkward moment. So I think that's why we're going to have a really fun conversation today. We have two amazing people in. If you're watching this on Instagram, you can already see that we have some fun people in the background. And if you're not and you're just listening, you can hear the giggling in the background. It's all really awesome. So we invited two of our favorite people on our podcast today because they are, I think, kick-ass attorneys and really successful in their fields, but they're also like amazing, beautiful women. And I think that is a really cool thing. So I'm going to let you guys kind of introduce yourselves. So we have Heather Nalley and Erika McNamara, who are sitting next to us. And I'm going to let you each introduce yourselves in terms of like who you are and what you do, and then we'll dig in. So tell us a little, ladies.
Well, hi
there. Hi. Hi, Heather.
hi there. So I'm Heather Nalley, and I'm a partner at Gentry Nalley and Howell. We have our own little firm, and we specialize in some interesting things. I'm a criminal defense attorney, so I handle some pretty interesting cases, from murders to rapes to drug dealer type cases. So it becomes a little stressful thing.
Right.
And I'm a mother.
Yeah.
I have kids. I'm a wife. I have a husband.
And you got to talk closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry.
Because you're going to fade out. Then you're fade out.
Thank you. And I'm, someone who's trying to balance it all. I guess that's really what it comes down to.
For sure.
So I found this little store called London Beauty in Brighton. And I am someone who is like, oh, crap, everything's run out. Now I don't know what to put on my face, and I don't have time to, like, read the magazines and look at the rules, because I know you girls have talked about that before. So I never really knew. And to be quite honest, when you walk into Macy's, and I'm not trying to, like, downplay that,
of course.
But, it's different. And when I first walked into London Beauty, maybe I wasn't this comfortable, but when I walk into London Beauty today, I like toss my bags, I toss my coat, and I feel like I'm in my girlfriend's apartment, and I'm like going to go through like her closet and stuff, because she's really got cooler stuff than I do. And that's kind of how I feel like it is.
And that's what it's supposed to be, for sure.
Well, right?
Absolutely.
And then one of you two come out and you're like, here's our new stuff. And you've done the research for me. So that's what really attracted me to this whole thing. And that's why I became what I assume is your favorite client ever.
Of course. Favorite client ever.
And so, honestly, but that's it, is I do feel like I've brought my son in, and I won't mention his name because he'd probably be so embarrassed, Sawyer.
Right.
Yikes. And he came in, he got his face sucked, which is my absolute favorite thing at your store. And it's because like that, though, I know about the products that are out there that are good, and I don't feel like I have to just settle and try to grab something. And
because you're busy.
And someone's done it for me, the research. Right. So I'm going to tell you, I really do appreciate it. I do feel like I've walked into my girlfriend's place.
I love that.
And I do love, I throw my shit right on your couch there.
Which is what it's for.
And I start walking around like I own the place. But I don't feel embarrassed like I'm looking through your medicine cabinet.
Right. You don't have to open any doors. Right.
Like she knows I'm looking, and she's okay with
it.
It's
totally okay.
And I went in there a couple weeks ago, and I had that nice dress on, and you guys like,
oh my God, you look
that dress.
So
If you don't buy that dress, you're insane.
Did you buy it? I need
it. Good, because it's so cute.
Yes, another dress for me. I'm Erika McNamara, and I'm an attorney as well. I do estate planning, so wills and trusts, durable power of attorney. And Heather was nice enough to let me have an office in her building, and it's
a lot of fun.
We work closely. There's cases that we've done together, actually. Her area, she does family law, and some things bleed over into my area, and we work together a lot on different things. And I'm going to pop this champagne.
Oh, yeah.
Amelia has been very patient.
Very patient. Woo, that's the best sound, right? I love that sound.
And who gets to the other brands? I don't know if I'm allowed to mention brands.
Yeah.
So like, it's not that I'm downing them.
No.
But when I go to the Clinique counter, right? Like they don't like, I know your son, and I know this, and have here's some whiskey. Because I know how much you'll love it. And you guys know it. And frankly, we all know that I am somebody else on Facebook. I'm a man on Facebook. It's my husband.
I always get kind of weirded out sometimes. Not weirded out, but like every once in a while I see like a comment, and I'm like, who is this guy?
And then you're like, oh, right, that's Heather's husband. Oh my gosh, too bad.
But you were okay with it.
No,
like,
it's
you guys
so
are
awesome.
so good about all of that because you know me.
Right. But
You
that's
know
like,
me.
we love that. And we love the conversations. Like that is something we really love. And which is why we started the podcast, because honestly, I mean, I feel like I've always been pretty confident. I feel like I was in all these industries that are very physical. Like I had a girlfriend who was also an actress, and she was as big as a minute. And I remember at one point I could see like 6-pack abs on this girl because she was going through Pilates training, and she was a commercial actress. And she even said she had gotten booked for a big national McDonald's commercial.
With a 6-pack?
With a 6-pack. And she was laughing because she's like, well, clearly I'm not their client, but they want me on there, whatever. So, I mean, acting, like she had to be like manicure ready at any given moment because that was her life. And she would get these commercials for things like McDonald's because she was cute and she was little and she was blonde. But clearly she's not eating at McDonald's on any regular basis, if ever. Right. And so it is a funny thing because I've been in all these really, really hyper body conscious environments, retail, acting, whatever, New York City alone. And it's amazing to me as women. And again, I always say this, men can have their own podcast, go have your campfire. Like we're not saying you can't come to our campfire, right? Like you can have your campfire too. Like I can't speak for men, and I know it's hard for men too, but for women, it is that tightrope. Like Erika, you and I talked about the lashes. Yes. I know you love your lashes. You always get them on. They're perfect. Like I am envious of that skill because Amelia can attest. Like I am over there like, wait, is it Joey? This corner, it's high. Fix my lashes.
And that's something that I say to other women all the time. They're trying new makeup or trying eyelashes or whatever it is. And they're looking at themselves, and we're always judging ourselves. And we're always saying, oh, you look fat. Oh, you have so much red on your face. We're talking down to ourselves, but actually when we go out, other people are looking at us and saying, wow, they look really good. Like, why can't I do that? So it's more ourselves that are saying bad things. And anybody can do purple eyeshadow, can do lashes. I do lashes every day for the most part, right? And it takes like 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's just practice at this point. Yeah.
It is practice, and it's
a part of who you are, too,
it is.
A little bit. It's
what I expect out of her. Yeah. It's what I expect.
I think
for sure.
I think a lot of times, I know Heather likes to do yoga and meditation and these kinds of things, but really that part of my day, that 20 minutes that I sit down in the morning at my vanity and look at myself and go, okay, it's going to be a good day, and here's what we're going to do. And I pull the different things out, and I don't want to talk to anybody, and even close the bathroom door so no one can come in.
Do you feel like when you're doing your makeup, like meditation, do you feel like you're getting ready to go into a meeting or like something that's like high pressure? Do you feel like it's a part of your armor? Like you're like, you know what? This is not armor in the negative sense, but I mean like I do these things so that I feel like at my peak, like I feel my best self.
And I think, yes. Let me answer your question, of course. I'd love some questions.
There's 100% that.
But if I can write the essay to that, I think about what I'm going to do that day.
Right.
And the people that I'm going to see. Right. And am I going to go to court? Am I going to, right now, court for us is on Zoom. So it's exactly what we're seeing on the screen now. And right. So it's only, you can only see me from here. Right. And
for sure.
I have to be, camera ready.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was in court, probably not.
Yeah.
You're in person and you're seeing something different. I know that if I am seeing elderly clients, because that's my clientele, they're probably not going to go for me having red eyeliner on. And that's just the way that it is, and that's okay. And I can respect them and not put it on that day.
Right. Not put it on that day.
Our audience, I think I've heard that come out of this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And, and Heather has known me a long time, and many times we've gone out and I have really dark lipstick on, and she's like, "What is happening here?" And I'm like, "Well, I always wanted to be an emo or a goth girl,
Right?
And now I can, and nobody can tell me no.
Yeah.
And if they want to say something, I'm like, I like
Look
this.
at her
I like
shirt,
this
for
lipstick.
God's
I know,
sakes.
right?
Like,
I know.
She's
She rocks
amazing.
it. She rocks it. And
yeah.
The
it's
confidence.
cool, right? It's confidence, and I think that's something that kind of has resonated through a bunch of our podcasts is that confidence that comes from just being comfortable. Like we talk about that all the time because, I mean, yes, like I have had years to finally get comfortable. Like, okay, if I'm 20 pounds overweight, like, okay, whatever, I'm going to just deal with it. I also know where my tipping point is, right? Like I know as I move through my clothing, I'm like, I probably need to deal with this. But, I know like Amelia and I have talked about that because she is like younger. Of course, just a minute younger.
I was, she's
a few days.
Just a
barely my sister.
Barely, right?
Barely,
but right. But I mean, I think there is something in that, right? Because I know we've talked about this, that whole like getting comfortable in your skin so that like I am amazed on a regular basis. Like we did a retreat. London Beauty Retreat with the team.
I'm in for the next
right?
one.
Right.
3 of us.
You should start making this part of the point system.
The point system.
I've already accumulated enough points and I don't even know when to level it.
I'm leveling up every day. So we had our like girls retreat for the team, and because I like to pretend like I'm corporate, like whatever, right?
But you're cool.
I try and be
Indie
like,
corporate.
indie corporate. I try and pretend like, this is the thing. And so we did our retreat, and it was on the boat, and we went out on the boat on Island Lake, and we all went out. But I was amazed. Yeah, there was a boat.
was a
involved.
boat.
I like it a
Yeah.
lot.
So thanks, father-in-law, for the boat. We appreciate you. So we went out on the pontoon, and I was watching the young women because they were all anywhere from like literally just out of high school to Amelia's age, right? Because Jocelyn's 22, maybe.
Jocelyn. Shoot.
She's not even old enough to drink.
No, she is now.
Oh, is she now?
She was born in 2000.
Okay, right, there you go.
So this year.
Yeah.
This October.
So not only did I have to rock it with these 20-year-olds in a
right.
bathing suit, so there was that.
Okay.
But on top of it, I was watching them interacting with each other and kind of sitting back. And one of our other part-timers who is more my age, I was watching them, and I thought, it is so different because at no point in my life did I have at 20 an iPhone,
right,
where I could just start snapping pictures.
Yeah.
But they know how to get their best angle.
right.
And we've talked about the fact that you are very clear about following and reinforcing on your Instagram feed body positivity.
Yeah.
Or just
yes.
neutrality is what I focus for. Just body neutrality. Just
Yeah,
hate
like
your
no
body.
shaming the people
Yeah.
who don't have curves because that happens sometimes.
Right.
It's a podcast. No one can see what you're doing.
Dang. So it's in secret, the pointing at Erika.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Oh, thank you.
Right. It's secret. But that's what we've talked about, like that, like body
true, though.
positivity, like that you have to, I mean, if you want to feel good about your own body, like finding other like-minded body types, right? So that
Yes,
you can
yes.
embrace. And I love the fact that in today's world, we can look at on different brands are starting to, like, you can swipe through and you can see like, oh, there it is on a skinny person, like
Yes,
a super skinny
yes,
person.
yes,
Oh, there it is on a
yes,
like athletic build. Oh, there it is on someone who's a little junky like me. Like I can find the body type,
Yes.
right?
There's a
Yes.
young woman I follow. She's I think she's only like 17. But I really enjoy her feed because she always says like her best accessory is her stomach. And she has like a stomach, but it's amazing because she wears these like super trendy outfits that you only ever see on really slender body types.
It makes it work.
And she's just like, it's not anymore slutty because I'm fat. Like
Right.
I just am fat. That's it.
Well, I have
Well, I don't
body.
even think
It's
about that. It's
body.
just
You have
that your
body.
body.
Yeah.
You have more body. So interestingly enough, one of my like power moves for myself when I was in the corporate world. So this would relate. I bought, because I used to have, a real job with a real paycheck.
You have a real job.
Yeah, you have
You're
a
a
real
businesswoman.
know,
You're
right,
bringing
whatever.
us in here.
Come
I'm
on.
suggesting you have a
No.
real job.
Let's-
I lay on your. I lay on it like
You
it's
work
the
more-
friends like
Couch.
yeah, like
you work more now
honestly.
than you ever did.
Oh, yeah, I
ever
for sure
before.
did.
True.
I
Very
love-
true.
I'm
We were
not
just
kidding,
talking
so
about
please
this.
don't
week.
say
You
No,
that.
I joke
you
about it,
dream about it, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
dream
I
about
do.
Yes, we dream
Oh,
about
you are.
our
You're-
business
we
and our
are
jobs.
Right.
That is, you have a huge
There are
job.
oftentimes literally at 6 a.m. I have text
Yes.
messages from
Yes.
Kathleen.
Oh,
Yes.
Turning into
I've lost a secretary
Like, oh
or
my
two
God.
over that, by the way, so I appreciate you being okay with that.
It's because when I wake up and I know she probably isn't going to read it right away, so I'm under the assumption
She's gonna read it right
it's not
away.
waking her up.
It's
in
when
the
we're
morning.
doing
She's
it,
got you on
though.
the bypass.
When we're doing it.
And
Right.
it's like,
I am the
Kathleen,
heaviest
what's
sleeper
happening?
in
Right.
the entire
Oh my God,
world.
you and
Nothing
Ian.
wakes me
Well,
up.
and
my
also
God.
though, I'm gonna say this: like you are an old soul.
She
as
is,
said it
100%,
early.
100%.
But my daughter, you made a big impression on my daughter. So Emma, you did her makeup for her photo shoot.
And she came in with her friend and they did her hair in the back. They were
Yeah,
really sweet to each
yeah,
other.
because that was Ella, I think, actually.
Yes.
Emma and Ella. And, honestly, like Emma is not the traditional stick figure. And she's beautiful and curvy. And she's like, oh, yeah, look at
Right?
you, right?
Right?
Like this girl, which it's a podcast, you can't see how beautiful and curvy she is, but this girl is. So that positivity, though, like you're a person that is like displaying that for others,
This was maybe
Oh, this was like year one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you're I know who
We
you're
were
talking about.
open,
Yep.
Like a year, and a girl came in, and you could just tell just from her whole presence that she just felt super uncomfortable and just like, and not even like in our store. That was just like her whole view of her world at that point. And I'm talking to her, and I don't know, just
And she's really
playing.
young, like
yeah,
really
she was
young.
maybe like
Not
15-ish. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm
I don't
not
know.
good at
But in
Right.
school,
Gate.
still in school.
Yeah, well, because they all look 21.
Right. Still in school.
she be driving.
Right.
We were just like hanging out, like playing with makeup. I think I ended up doing like a quick little look on her, and she ended up. I don't even think she bought anything. But as
They were saving up for Christmas.
Yeah.
Because it was like Christmas time and they were kind of like their family did this thing where they celebrated after Christmas. So she was getting like ideas for Christmas.
yes,
Good idea, though. Then they get all the deals.
Right?
Like,
Totally.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, 100%.
As she goes to leave, she kind of turns around and she's just like, I just wanted to say thank you. The pretty girls are never nice to me. And it took, I literally tell this story
right?
now and it still makes me like want to cry.
Again, though, that's why I throw
Right?
my coat on your couch, and that's why my kid who broke his leg the last time he got his face sucked at your place. But again, and I again swear I
machine.
won't mention his name because he's in high school.
There's
But
a machine involved.
that
yes.
is your place, right? Like we appreciate that we appreciate that. Everybody does, no matter who they are, because you don't know what's out there. I don't even know. Am I supposed to put this on first or second? Like,
I know, right?
I feel so stupid sometimes when I have
But
this
isn't that the
stuff.
thing? And I do feel like the little things, like, so we watch these videos and we see these like nutty, like the makeup artist who was on for Hayoma, our skincare line, but he's also Samson. We love Samson.
I like
I know, isn't he fun?
He was so amazing.
He's so amazing. We'll have him back.
I love
we'll have
by
him
the way,
back.
I have my temple.
Oh, tell
stuff
us
on.
when he's
Oh my
coming
gosh,
back so
right?
we
Do you
can
like
meet him
it?
in person.
Love
I know
it.
we
I
would
love
love that.
it.
Oh my gosh, he's
We
amazing.
I love
I
it.
wanna
Oh
do
my
like a
god, I want to
drag-
like show it to you.
A
It's
drag
in
podcast with him.
I know he's
I'm
so
in.
fun, and
Yeah.
You're
so I know you're in.
I'm not. I will drag myself.
drag
To
myself.
the thing, like I am in.
No, but he was making that point, like drag is for drag, like, and all these really cool eye looks and the things that they're doing are really amazing, and it's super talented and it's really cool, but it doesn't translate, right? Like if you walked into court dressed,
People do though.
but they do.
Really?
But if you walked
Wrong
in,
time, wrong place, right? That's
Right?
what you guys have talked about on the
Yeah.
show.
Wrong
The
time, wrong
rules-
place.
The rules do sometimes apply.
they do sometimes apply, and I think also it goes to that, like, what is it for each of us that gives us a sense of power, accomplishment, Like, so where I was going with my story was that I used to buy, because like I said, I used to have a paycheck. I used to buy Agent Provocateur lingerie.
Love
And
it.
and I have tons of it. So I got a little chunky
Love
for it
it.
because I was getting a lot of overboob. But
We should talk about a little
a
sale.
a little sale.
I might trust your agent.
I know.
It's not a regular garage sale.
No, I know, right? It's so crazy. And so I would buy this stuff and I loved it, and so stupid expensive. But I would wear it under my like normal work stuff because it made me feel like a little rock and roll. Because that's like, I think I'm like you, Erika. I always want to have like a little touch of rock and roll. Like today I'm doing the Delta Burke, like 1980s designing women, blue eyes, which Amelia said didn't date me, but was back and
because
cool,
I think it's
right?
back in
I think
style.
it's so cool.
Right. I was like,
You're not doing
80s
it
forever.
right.
Oh, and I loved your style.
It's a little Delta Burke. I'm just saying.
That's okay, though.
Right. It's a little Delta Burke.
But we
I'm
don't, no
obsessed with
rules,
her.
right?
No rules.
No rules.
So, and you know, like, whatever. So I did my little Delta Burke thing today, but I would wear, I always feel like I have to have something a little rock and roll. And if I'm in a conservative environment, and one of my jobs was super conservative, I can't even imagine. Like, I had to do stuff. Like, I had to do stuff. Whether, like, so I knew I couldn't, like, color my hair yellow, like Amelia's right now. Or I couldn't, which is so cool. Or I couldn't.
Okay, that was my fear with this yellow color, is that it was
Well,
gonna fade.
I listened to that.
No,
and
it's
it was
amazing.
gonna know that it was gonna fade, and it was gonna look like I just didn't tone my hair.
No, I get that.
No, you
it
can
didn't
tell
turn
it's
off
yellow.
that way. And you know what, though? Yeah.
And
No,
your
you put too much
boyfriends,
effort into
yeah.
everything else for us not to think it's that.
Erika's dissing the boyfriend, Jordan.
Boyfriend.
Hello.
Jordan,
I don't
if
even
you're
know who
listening.
Jordan is,
She
but
is
let's
not a
let Jordan
cartoon character. And that's just
you
how
know,
it
I
turned
will
out.
tell you something very funny. Here's a little inside thing. Back when I first came to this county, there was a really great lingerie shop in Howell. It's no longer there. It's now up in Traverse City, or it was. I don't know if they're still there or not.
That's a big
And-
move.
That was a big move.
Oh, it was very nice, like wheat German lingerie, like very
Oh,
nice. Yeah,
I know
see, love
wheat.
it. Oh yeah, see, look at her face.
I know wheat. I have a purple one that has like little hearts.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Very nice stuff.
No, it's really pretty. I have one in the bottoms. It's purple. You would love the color.
And
It's
they make your size. They fit you.
Yeah. And then there's
it.
like, it has like little heart shape on the bra, and it has a little heart shape on your butt, and then mesh. It's so cute. So yeah, like I'm all about like, so I feel like makeup and lingerie are kissing cousins. They're like friends, because I feel like if I can't get away with red lipstick or my Delta Burke eyes, I can always get away with a
Something
corset
underneath.
or a cool
red
bra,
lipstick.
right?
Well, so I would do their legal work, and they would pay me in lingerie.
Unbelievable.
And so when you said it becomes kind of your armor.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm standing in front of a jury in a black and white, navy and white, gray and
Right,
white, gray and pink suit, right? Like the same colors, with my hair back in a bun underneath.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. But I'm just saying, right? Like
Seriously.
there are, that's a way to build confidence. It's another way of it, but
Well,
it's
I
about
know
inside.
We
This isn't
mentioned
inside.
this before, is just like actually like wearing it around the house.
Yeah.
Because like I have girlfriends who all the time say like, I don't know, like I've never really worn lingerie. I don't really have any, but I just feel weird. And I'm like, well, you feel weird because you've never put yourself in it.
Throw some thigh highs on. They roll down. They do. Find out what position they don't roll down.
Right?
I like that. I'm just saying.
Okay, so
Look at he's like, yeah.
oh my god, our tech in the booth.
That's an interesting thing because I wear heels all of the time.
Yeah, you do.
And people say, well, how do you do that?
You
I
just
walk
do it.
around and
Yeah.
no, I practice.
Well, yeah, but
At
like,
home.
Yeah.
Alone, I wear my heels
all the
cleaning
time.
Yeah.
and doing everyday tasks.
Okay, she just set some worlds
Yes.
on fire in some little
I know,
Saturday
right?
night specials in somebody's
Right.
mind
or,
with that cleaning your house
you
in
know,
heels.
or I watch music videos and I dance around in my heels to practice walking around. And
Well, because it does take practice.
It's practice, but it also makes me feel sexy.
Oh yeah. So I worked
There's nothing
for
wrong with that.
Sergio Rossi, the shoe company. And they are owned by Gucci Group. So they are these beautiful Italian heels. And at one point, the guy, it was Edmundo Castillo, who was our designer at the time, because Sergio, they had bought it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So he firmly believed that women should only wear 105 millimeter heels, which is basically 4-inch.
Oh, yeah. Well, I kind of.
And it is no joke. And so when we traveled for the company, they wanted us in the shoes, right?
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It
And
is
so
a lot of
I
work.
traveled with them a lot, and I wouldn't wear them on the plane and stuff. But man, when I landed in Italy for the shows, I like popped those bad boys on, and I got very used to it.
Yes.
I don't know how much it did for my feet, because you know,
Or your back.
feet
Or
or my
your
back or
hips.
whatever.
But you do get used to it.
You do get used to it, and I still have shoes. Like that's another sample sale in the making.
I'm in them for that one.
Right,
as
right,
well.
right, right. So beautiful, so many
Amelia's
beautiful
how many already?
shoes. I know.
Well, that is one of my favorite things, is Kathleen and I are like the same size.
She has good clothes.
So,
Did you see her little jeans today? The other day you had those wide-legged jeans on, and I love
Oh
them.
yeah, those are from Rosie's down
I
the
love
street.
Rosie's. I love
know
Rosie's.
Rosie's is awesome, and well, I don't want to break. So we're gonna do a little teaser. So as we know, I know. So a little teaser. So we are London Beauty. Obviously, this is the Beauty Underground, but London Beauty is where we live. And on Main
want to
Street,
live.
I know we all want to live there. It's my little fantasy world. But so on Main Street, we have all our friends, and we're doing a bit of a teaser on Instagram right now because we are
Yes.
building
a surprise.
a surprise
A
that's
summer
very
surprise.
crafted and
surprises.
oh my gosh, it's kind of out of control and got way
No,
more
just tell us
expensive
now.
than I planned. So
Well,
it's
especially because we started the project for free.
for free.
We got like leftovers from another business
Yes.
essentially, and now it's like
It's
skyrocketed.
skyrocketed from there because we can't not
Do it.
do it ridiculous, right?
Well, you have to do the project the way it should be done.
The way it
Right,
should be done. And so we feel like we're building a pride float, not gonna lie. So it's this whole situation in the back.
Lots of chicken wire.
There's chicken wire involved. There's mylar involved. There's green wall involved. It's
Isn't that
it's
thing
the
in
booth
the back,
in the back
where it
yeah.
was a changing booth?
Mhm.
Oh, I've seen
You've
the
seen
preview.
the
the
changing
right.
booth.
So but it's not.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh yeah, it's a situation back there, and so because I live with boys and they don't understand me at all, I'm like this weird unicorn, and I
You
grew
are
up-
a hockey mom,
I
which
know.
I was shocked to just
Yes.
learn about you. I was like, what?
I know it's
What is this
is
alternate
happening.
universe?
Oh, it's an alternate universe. Because I grew up with this fiery group of women, and my dad was the captain of this ship of crazy, fiery women, which just blows my mind. And even like my grandmother was crazy. Like she was one of the first women to get certified as like a lifeguard through and boat training through the Red Cross when they were doing all the Red Cross stuff. And she ran like a summer camp, and like my mom started a whole summer softball league because women didn't have opportunities for summer
remember this
sports.
story.
It's crazy. So whatever. So I come from
Strong women.
a ton of strong women and very fiery women. So my dad managed to captain that ship. I have no idea how he did, because he did captain the ship. So anyhow, now I have these men in my life who have no idea how to captain the ship. And there's only one of me. So I'm not really sure how that works. It's kind of crazy. So I'm like, well, whatever. So I needed them to help me with this booth because I've never worked with chicken wire because I'm not a farmer. And I lived in New York. I don't really know what to do about chicken wire. I mean, I lived in New York City. You guys have to cut me a break. I can grow
Do we know?
plants.
No,
You should
know,
look
yeah.
at Tom Boyer on Facebook because he could have helped you with chicken wire.
He could help
We know
me.
those New York people. They don't even know what state Michigan is.
They don't. And actually, and when I moved the business here, people were like, well, so Michigan, they kind of knew Michigan, but when you mentioned
See?
like,
Yes. Oh my gosh, I have many New York friends. They were like, "You're from Missouri," and I'm like,
no,
yes.
Michigan. They kind of know
There's
Michigan.
lakes.
The minute you mentioned, yeah.
Kid Rock. Oh, right.
Oh,
Michigan.
right. 8 Mile.
Okay,
8 Mile.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. So it's crazy as a New Yorker. So I'm pretty handy. Like I own a drill. Like I'm good. But I do. I'm not gonna lie. It was a Valentine's Day present.
Oh, I
from
love
my
you owning a
father.
drill. That's
I
one
do.
thing we want to talk about.
I
What
know,
you
right?
own.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Erica's like, and the legal ramifications of talking
So
about that.
many things.
So many things. So I didn't know how to deal with chicken wire, so I had to loop in the men in my life to deal with this chicken wire. And so whatever, it was a whole, and I say situation a lot, and they have turned that into a drinking game, by the way, because I have these little phrases. Yeah, so if I say the whole situation, everyone has to drink. So let's just get that out of the way. The situation.
You should make bingo cards. Even
Bingo
better.
cards,
if you,
yeah.
If you get a
Ooh,
whole,
that's a good one. That's our next retreat.
Oh, we should do that for the next
And
retreat.
I am
You can just-
available.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, so funny. I don't even know where I was going, but anyhow, the craziness
there's a
of
thing in the back of your.
yes, there is, and it is getting built slowly. So we're doing teasers on Instagram for London Beauty.
Yes.
Not the Beauty Underground, which is the podcast, but London Beauty, the shop. We're doing teasers. It should be ready by at least the end of May. We had a little delay. So it's very exciting. We'll let you guys all know how it all turns out, but it is very, I feel like I'm building a float.
Yeah.
It is,
I feel like I'm on
become-
like the prom committee.
yeah,
We're
100%.
like
It's
decorating
unfortunate, but
the
okay.
gymnasium.
Still like you.
But I totally saw it though, at least in its partial.
And it's
state.
like steel frame.
get it, yeah.
So yeah, it's very exciting, and we're really excited about it. But it's turned into a certain level of epicness. But it will be very London Beauty when it's all done, because we can't stand it. But back to all our talk about empowering, it is kind of part of that whole thing. Like this is what happens to us. We can't stand it. So then we have to engage even more, right? Like we can't just leave it alone. So we have to touch it all and make it, I don't know. It's like,
talking about these things that make me laugh, like touching it.
I know, touching it all. We can't stop. It's horrible. So we are doing this thing. I know. Johnny is
Hi,
looking at us
Johnny.
like we've
Yes.
lost our minds. But anyhow, so we plan on launching this this interesting project very soon, which we will post about, which is very exciting at the shop. But it will be something. I could say that you could get your face sucked in.
I like it.
With a machine.
With a machine.
I love your face
Why?
sucking. Okay, she
With
just
a
let the
machine.
segue.
Oh
let
my
the segue.
God.
It's my favorite thing at the place. I love to get my face sucked. And
With a machine.
so
With
do
a
my
machine.
kids. Yeah, with the machine. Thank you. And the machine sucks my
Again, not
children's
enough
faces.
alcohol
Yes.
in the whole
And that's a
world.
whole other thing.
fix that.
Because my kids, young boy and young girl, like high schoolers, and their skin is changing.
Right.
And you know they don't know what to use,
Right.
And they
Right.
they read whatever's on the internet,
Right. Of course.
And they also feel like I do. Like they went to the store, they talked to you guys, and they felt good about what they got. So I remember when Emma, she got that stuff that's like the probiotics on top of
Oh,
the
right.
face.
Uh-huh.
And then it became a big issue in her house because everybody was teasing her. They're like, things are eating on top of your face right now because it's like the probiotics.
Right.
And nobody wanted to be near her for a while because they were afraid like things would jump
Off
Yeah,
her face, right? Because that's what siblings do.
Exactly.
Yeah, make people feel uncomfortable.
But it was awful nice because they felt good about their skin.
Right.
And they're young. And isn't this when it should start? Right? Like you're young, but
Yeah.
I want to start my kids when they're younger because I didn't quite understand.
Well, I don't think any of us do. And I think as we move through life, like those challenges that we look at for ourselves, makeup is a really lovely way to express ourselves in a really fun way. but it can become this weird kind of crutch too. Like, guess what? Everyone has pores. I hate to break it to everyone. If you're listening, you have pores.
And you have texture.
You have texture. And it is an important feature. And it's funny because my acting background, I thought of this the other day. You're talking about something with pores and filtering and I don't know, whatever. Back in the day as an actor, if you got headshots done, Heather needs a filler.
I'm not driving home.
There you go, right? No driving. Is Tom coming to get you?
Perhaps. Is it after 6
Right.
o'clock? He's working right now.
He's working right now.
Might come and get you in a different way.
Right? Oh my gosh. So when I had to get my acting headshots done, they didn't. So first of all, everything had to be hand touched up. This was not in the day of like filters. You physically, the guy had to go in and paint the touch ups on your images.
Good.
So that was crazy. And they put the twinkle in your eye. That's how they did like Marilyn Monroe. Everyone got hand painted and touched up. Okay. Which I know is probably blowing some people's minds because it was literally like an artist would go in and touch up your photo and then they'd make copies of that touched up photo. But one of the things as an actor that people wanted, unless you were doing like your glamour shot for like, I don't know, soap operas, but they wanted pictures with texture. You weren't allowed in black, and most of them were in black and white, which is really a great way to make yourself look frickin-tastic in a hot minute. But you would do these pictures, they wanted to see texture because they wanted to see like who you were. So if you were going to be cast as the like salty mom, or if you were going to be cast as the engineer, if you were going to be cast as the best friend, they wanted a sense of what you were going to look like on camera. And I think it's crazy today that Amelia and her generation is dealing with this face.
They can do it every day. Every picture. So what you were just talking about is your job, right? Like a 8 to 5, 40-hour a week, and then you go home and you're alone. But what Amelia's generation and the next one seems to be dealing with anyways is it's after you go home from work or school, right? It's all night long. It's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's texting, it's all of those mediums. Yeah. And so you have to look good all the time. Yeah. Right? Like the kids who are like putting on TikTok, here's how I woke up this morning. Right. And I know you guys recently talked about this on one of your podcasts. You're like, I look so sultry in the morning. I never look sultry in the morning, by the way. I look like Vampira. But like these kids, they think they're supposed to like wash their face, do their makeup, take a picture, and like I just got up. Yeah. It's really sad to me.
But I would just like to pause it.
Oh God, she's pausing. She's okay. Now we're Lori. Okay, the alcohol is working, ladies.
We've been doing this for centuries. Do we really think that all those people?
How does your headset stay on? Like, and your hair looks good. I am like, what? Okay.
Down at the DIA really look like that. No, that's all Photoshop.
Right.
That is the artist's interpretation of the person. And we've been doing that for years and years. And now we can just do it instantly.
Yeah. So you're right.
I think it's
been
like
going on forever.
Different to see it in like a different media. Like it's not like oil on canvas. It's literally a physical picture of you.
Right.
So I just
but that was theirs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's theirs. And, Henry VIII married Anne of Cleves because of her picture, right? Yeah. And then she showed up and she's got all these pockmarks on her face. So
how does that work, right? Yeah.
Well, and now they know it. Like you had a zit, so you're no longer cool and you're off. And you can't get your million likes back. Like one zit, and you're the most beautiful person in the world. I don't know. There is a real problem with the instant.
There's a ton of pressure.
No,
it's pressure.
And you can't like get away. Like especially I feel like for kids in school. Yeah. Like it's not like, at least too, when I was growing up, I didn't have a phone until I was like a junior and maybe a sophomore in high school.
So that was yesterday.
Yesterday for all of us. Yeah.
Like when I was was younger, like if I was teased at school, it ended when I got off the bus.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Right.
so right. You're
But
so right.
now it's just like if you're
It keeps
teased and
going.
you want to have social media because you want to be able to be included and see what's going on in the world, you come home and it's still continuing through your phone.
Oh my God, you're so cute. You understand that when I was like 5 years old, I had a party line. Do you even know what a party line
I
is?
know what a party line is.
Party line is.
So I would listen in on the neighbors' calls, right? You would have to be like, I'd like to make a call from our house, and then everybody
Right.
else could listen in. That was my first thing. And then I couldn't talk my parents into a really long phone cord so I could be like in the other
Alone
room.
in your yeah. Oh my
Like
God.
that was how it was for us. Or like written letters.
Yeah.
You know, you did that kind of thing. She didn't
Yeah,
have
written
text.
letters. And you know, I was an English major. And so I'm an Austin fan. I love you more. And everything Austin is resolved with a beautiful letter.
Yeah, it is.
How I'm with a tradesman is baffling, but I adore him. But like seriously, everything is resolved with a beautiful letter.
I
and
cannot.
it's
I do a lot of
unreal.
written thank yous. There's an attorney who is on his kind of way out in our community, but he's kind of a conceptual like idol, I would say.
Right.
He sends things to people, cut them out of the newspaper and write on them. I saw this and I thought it was wonderful. And I remember the first time I got one, I'm like, oh my God, this is so special, right? Like he took time out of his morning coffee to like cut it out
And mail
write on
it.
it. Yeah.
My Aunt Jean
means a
does
different-
that.
Yeah,
Every few
yeah.
weeks I get one. The last one
you're
I got was
lucky.
about iguanas.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
and
Iguanas.
I
But it
love
is really
I like it.
special.
It is.
It's a way to connect, and I think that's why like bookstores are kind of pushing their way back to consciousness. Like we lost so many, in the past 15 to 20 years, and now they're kind of pushing back in because I think people want that physical connection, and I think that's why there's this push with clean cosmetics. There's a push with like not filtering that, like no filter, even though like we all know it's like a little filtered. But you know, that
But it's always been
push,
there.
of course, but that push back to seeing people and connecting like physically has become more important. It's funny. So again, when I was in New York City, I took classes in pole dancing.
I knew it was going to be good. I'm like, yes, she did.
Yes, I did. But what's really funny is so like
Sexy though.
it is so and it's a workout. So this was this whole thing. So I was working at a company and I was given these coupon things like because they were trying to like reach out to us, whatever, blah blah blah. So I decided to go and I couldn't get anyone to go with me. But you know, Erika, I'm a little rock and roll. So I was
We're
like,
in
of
next
course,
time, right?
Right?
Yeah.
We are
I'm your
in.
girl.
I
We
know.
are in.
So
will be there, and I
She-
will do it.
Anybody
and you will do it.
listening who does pole dancing,
Right.
you got to foursome.
foursome, right? So I was like, I couldn't get anyone to go with me because everyone was too chicken. So I was like, fine, whatever, I'll go by myself. So I went with my little thing and I like went and I had my leggings on and my shirt and whatever. And I show up and I sign the little thing and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting with all the girls because it was like an introductory class. And it was at S Factor, which is by Sheila Kelly. And she started in New York. She was an actress. Long story short, she had to do a movie as a stripper. She realized after she did this movie, working out and doing all this stuff as a dancer, and she was a former dancer, but doing all this stuff, she realized I'm in the best shape of my life. So she started this like workout class that revolved around pole dancing. Okay, fine. So I go to her studio in New York City and I'm in this walk in, whatever. And we're all waiting and they keep you in like a little green room before you go in, which is intentional. And out walks our instructor in like a booty shorts and a little
and you got your like,
top.
I went to so-and-so camp in 93.
Right? Oh, 100%. Or the Korean spa and like my, like whatever. So I'm in my like whatever janky leggings and oversized t-shirt, whatever. And so they're like, come on in. So you go in and the room is pitch black, like so dark. And there's a pin spot on the instructor. And you do about like 45 minutes of a Pilates workout. And then you learn a trick on the pole. Like you learn something about the pole.
Nice.
And then you do a free dance.
Okay. How'd your free dance?
So
go?
what's this is right? So then if you sign up, whatever, you go through classes and you learn more stuff, but the premise is still the same the whole time. You're doing a 45-minute workout. Then you learn something pole related, and then everybody free dances, and you get to pick your music, and you get to do like a short little free dance, and the teacher like interacts with you afterwards. So you're like dancing out your emotions.
The dance at the end gives me so much anxiety.
So much anxiety, right?
I
Amelia doesn't
I
dance.
hate
P.S.
dancing.
She doesn't
I hate
dance.
it. I feel so uncomfortable.
She doesn't dance.
Really?
Oh.
I tried
Even
to
when
get
you're
her
like
to
in your
dance
own
the
little
boat.
place, you're not like obviously out on public.
I mean, like, I listen to music and I'll like bob my head, but like, no, I don't dance. My boyfriend makes me dance all the time with him, and it's very sweet because he just wants me to like get out of my head, but like can't do it.
She doesn't dance. It's
Really?
a legit thing. She doesn't dance.
We need hey, as a
DJ.
part of our Kentucky trip, let's get a condo
This is very interesting.
with some really good music, and we're
can't
gonna
even
teach her how to
deal with it.
dance, and that'll be part of it. Oh my God, Kentucky dance,
Wait,
like
hang on.
London
Well,
Beauty
would you,
on the move.
If it was a waltz,
on the move, London Beauty on the move.
She's like got her
or
So this
if
is a
it
little
was,
I just want to be a part of it, dude.
I know.
like a group
No.
coordinated dance.
Coordinated dance, no.
I have the law mercy. Okay, I just want to be a part of it.
Group coordinated dance, I won't do. Like even when I'm like
Group
drunk,
coordinated.
even when I'm like
What about
drunk, like out with my girlfriends, I don't dance. And this,
No.
I'm far enough into this
Have you been
podcast-
drunk with us? 'Cause I'm curious.
No,
Listen, I'm
don't
far
get-
enough into this
yeah.
podcast, so I know my boyfriend is
Inebriated
no
with
longer
Heather.
listening. Our first kiss only happened because he was slow dancing with me, and I wanted it just to end.
Well, that happens to all of us. So
We all
it's good
want it to
happen
end
when
a
you're
little
young.
early.
Wait. No, there is something to be. Wait, hold up. Stop.
I love having her here, by the way. That's all I have to say.
Did that mean that you thought if you started making out with him, he'd make you stop dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they would do other things. I would only assume. But I'm just saying.
We were just.
That is manipulative.
I'm
Yeah,
really
a little
good
bit.
at that.
She is. She's not really
It's our
manipulative.
job. There's a
she
little
does
bit they
know how
need
to
us
work
to
it.
do that.
That is
I just
hilarious.
like he was super sweet, and we were just like slow dancing to. I don't even remember what we were listening to now.
It's cute.
But we were slow dancing in front of the fire. It was really, really sweet. And I was just like, I really.
Oh, so it was
I-
private time dancing.
No, I mean, it was like our first date, so we just still didn't know each other. that
Where were
well.
you?
Oh,
So,
well,
okay,
first
so
date. I'm giving the
turning
first date
people or
thing.
what?
Okay.
Because our first date happened in the pandemic, I actually went over to his house.
See, but it's private time dancing, which is also very awkward.
And
I
we
totally
carved-
It's
understand
really
that.
intimate.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
gonna
gonna
be
say
Oprah
this
and
is
get
different than
really
at a
good
wedding
questions
reception.
down.
Wait, hold
Okay.
on. Too many people talking. Oprah, what? Who's gonna ask what,
It's
Erika?
going to be Oprah and get the good questions down, right? I mean, she just did that great interview with
Oh,
your favorite person.
Markle.
And so, yes, so please tell us more.
What would you like to know?
So what,
Well, she is
it
with
was
him
individual,
still.
like in your place.
yeah.
Yeah,
see,
it
it's
was at
very
his house.
intimate.
Yeah.
So if you were like at a prom or at a
No.
wedding reception, it might not be so intimate. Like I feel like that was a little more intimate.
But no, she had trouble dancing at the retreat on the boat.
On with girls' night
Oh,
out.
can we please
Girls'
do
night out. I don't
again?
dance.
Do I tell him? Like, who do I tell to plan this? Can I tell my secretary from here?
Yes, get your secretary.
I would have to start if it was on notes. Here's my star. Plan some shit because
Plan some
we are
shit.
going somewhere.
We could do
Dude,
Siri.
you are
Great
gorgeous.
But I won't dance.
You will with me.
I mean, you will make me dance,
It's
but
okay.
I won't dance.
I won't dance either because I'll just be like drinking.
And it's just the-
sitting.
See, that's what I do. I just
There ain't nothing wrong with
vibe
that.
in the corner
The
by
vibe.
myself.
There's nothing. That's
I'm
dancing,
cool-
girl.
No,
it's just
really
accepting.
not.
I'm
It's just, like,
accepting who you
moving your
are.
drink.
It's just moving your drink.
It's not really
Wait,
dancing though.
do you think so? Okay, so I'm dragging this back into the positivity world.
Yes, I'm sorry. We're
No,
sorry. Yes.
no, I'm dragging it back there because I think it's an important point. So back to my pole dancing. No, I'm dragging it back there for an important reason.
I like this.
No,
Trying to pull back.
I'm not kidding. So what's really funny is, I think similar to makeup, lingerie, all these things, right? Dancing makes you get outside yourself.
Right.
And it is really, it's really
true.
challenging. So
It's not easy.
It isn't easy. And so some people are very comfortable moving, right? Just like some people are comfortable talking, or some people are comfortable playing music, or some people are, whatever it is, right? Some people are comfortable doing like big makeup looks. And that then is their armor. But when it comes down to it, being comfortable in your body means being able to be comfortable moving.
Right.
And so one of the things I made you watch, the documentary.
Yeah.
So Sheila Kelly did a documentary, or not, she didn't do it. Someone did a documentary about pole dancing. Strip down,
Rise Up.
Rise Up.
Okay.
And it's on Netflix, I think, right? Netflix.
It is on
Like
Netflix.
Hulu, Netflix. I can't remember.
It's Netflix.
But anyhow, it's really fascinating because it is very cathartic. And the way Sheila Kelly uses it in her studios is it's a minute to connect, to get outside yourself and work something out and feel better about yourself, about your body. And so you do pole dancing, and it's meant to, if we have any underage people, maybe move on. But it's to kind of blow up your sexuality, whatever that means for you, to feel comfortable and confident in your sexuality, which gets back to all these topics. Really, at the end of the day, being comfortable wearing red lipstick, being comfortable wearing high heels, being comfortable wearing sexy lingerie, being comfortable doing a bold makeup look,
true.
whatever it is, being comfortable in all those components is part of being a woman. That's the like joy of being a girl. And it is being a woman, being in that environment. One of the things that I learned watching all these different free dances, because the lights were low, everybody looked freaking sexy. And I remember watching these women, and all of a sudden I was seeing them through the eyes of a potential lover.
Yeah. Right.
Whatever that was.
But they don't know it.
Because everyone was just releasing something, right? Whether they were sad or angry or happy or whatever it was, they were releasing it through their body and dancing through it. And it was really cool because you started to see, like, I don't know, the girl who might have been uncomfortable because she felt like her butt was too big, or the girl who felt uncomfortable because she had no like
bumps on my
curves.
arms,
right? Bumps on my arms,
Right.
or you know, she didn't have any makeup on that day, but she put on like her little skivvies and just was like, whatever, I'm here, and like moved through it. And you saw it in the documentary, and all of a sudden, you realize as women we're allowed to be women, and why are we so busy putting on a pantsuit to show up to court?
Well, it's a part of fitting into this is a whole nother like 1 hour series, right? But
Right.
the idea is it's a man's world.
Right.
And there are a lot of women who feel they have to make themselves less sexual.
Right.
I think less attractive. I think anything like that, to just get away from all of that and talk about the law. And I've often said things like this, like, if you come out and you say the same thing I do, and, you know, we both say it, they have to look at how you presented it, how you looked presenting it, and that's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I'm not suggesting that someone has to be beautiful to win, right? That's
Right.
not the issue. But if you look put together, if you look confident, if you are dressed in a way that doesn't distract from your argument,
Right.
those are the things that are going to make the day
Yeah.
against somebody who has the same strong argument. I will laughingly say I think I'm like the most intelligent person in the entire world, probably. Like, I sometimes joke with her and tease about those things, right? But the truth of the matter is I'm not. Okay, right?
I'm making notes.
Yeah, like the truth is I'm not. And I'm going to be
Also
there
making
somebody
notes.
who is so intelligent and presenting the case from their point of view. I have to look at all those other things. Do I look as put together as they do?
Right.
Do I present as garish? Do I present as somebody who's uncomfortable in their clothing? It all distracts from those arguments.
A stain on your shirt. You spill your coffee, right? And walking in the door and you spill your coffee. We've all been there. And you're like, man. And you're like buttoning up or trying. You spilled your coffee on your way to work one day in your jeans.
All over my pants.
All over our pants. I was like, just go down the street and buy some jeans. You're going to be miserable all day.
Because you feel uncomfortable. And it changes your armor, right? So all of a sudden, I'm now just as smart as the other person in the courtroom, but I feel unconfident for whatever reason. One time I showed up, I had the same pair of shoes. This is why I never agree with this rule. If you like a pair of shoes, buy them in all colors. Right. That's stupid. Because I had black and brown in the same color.
Oh,
or
no,
navy.
you wore the different shoes.
Yeah, and I'm calling my husband. I have a jury trial. And I'm like, bring my other shoe. And he comes in with all these shoes like, I don't know what shoe to bring you. Yeah. But it was like black and navy, and I had one of each on. Now, I'm telling you, I know, right? And they couldn't see it. I'm telling you, the jury could never have seen it. But it was my armor.
But you knew.
I would
Yeah.
You knew.
Yeah, it was my armor. And I will tell you, it was my ex-husband. I'm going to give him props and say he brought up every shoe in my closet, I think, to try to fix the issue for me. But it becomes your armor.
It does.
Even if they couldn't see it.
Right. And it does weigh. Like, I guarantee you, like your eyelashes. Like, if I told you I'm going to pull those off and you got to go.
That's okay. I think I would be okay.
You would be okay.
Because it's me.
Right, of course.
This is me. And I think this goes back to the whole being confident and the girl that came to your store and said that the girls aren't nice to her. You have to, at a certain point, say, this is me. And this is how I'm going to be. And
whether those other girls care.
I can run marathons, miles, and not eat. Am I going to be happy? Right? There's a movie that I went to one time, and the girl in the movie said, you know what I wish for? And then I remember saying in the theater, a hairbrush and a cheeseburger, because her hair was out of control and she was so thin and she looked so unhappy. And it was like, there comes a certain point where you have to, accept.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at.
I was just looking back at pictures from like the start of the pandemic, and I have gained like 30 pounds since.
No.
I genuinely have. I gained like 30 pounds. Which
welcome
I'm totally
to
fine with, and
the
that's
crew
the
of
thing.
other age group.
Look back at pictures, and I just remember like my headspace in that moment being like, I still thought I was disgusting and like overweight and like chunky, but now it's like, now I know I am, and I'm so no, but I don't mean that in a bad way. Being chunky is not bad. Like, so many women are bigger and thicker and they're stunning. So it's just this, like, it's literally just your headspace.
I think, yes. And it comes back to, okay, do I go out and walk? Do I do these things in my yard and take care of myself? Yes, I do. But can I lose weight? Probably not.
And there's the issue too, though. Is it poundage? Or is it, I can go out into my garden and work, and I can walk and do the activities
and I think that's
that
what
I want to do. Am I healthy?
Yeah.
Am I healthy?
I think that's like a big thing for me too, is just like, I want to move, but I want to enjoy my movement. I don't want it to be a chore. I don't want to feel like I have to go to the gym and like sweat for exactly 45 minutes. Otherwise, like, I didn't deserve it, especially because
And you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
If you didn't
I
make
previously dated a guy, I don't know, 8 months or so. Like, we were only together for like a short period of time, but he would physically track what I ate.
Wrong. Look at me
and
like,
if I didn't like perform in a certain way, like at the gym, he wouldn't be intimate with me.
Did you get to address how he
Scooby-Doo
performed in a certain way?
Certainly not.
Because let's be clear, there's a performance set on both sides, right? Like, and that brings up another issue, though, right? It was all on you.
Yeah.
You're the one who has to present. You're the one who has to make this work.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Right?
No.
We both have to make this work.
We both do.
I want to jump in the bedroom with whoever I am attracted to, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be someone who cares as much maybe as I do.
Right.
Do you know, right? Like, It doesn't have to be perfect. I'll say that over and over.
Well, and I think
it
that
has to be
shows
an attempt.
Right. And it shows through life. So like the in New York, we saw a lot of the trophy wife situation. Again, drink.
I'm
The
in
situation,
there. I'm in there.
right?
I have to go to the bathroom soon.
You can sneak out.
Can I?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can. All you do is take your headset
look at
off
me.
and then
Sneaking out.
They
Look for
only
the other
these
bottle of
visual
champagne.
people.
There's another bottle someplace. Yikes. Hello, ladies. Yes.
But it is a funny thing because of the pressure on both sides. But I always feel badly making it. I'm not saying that men don't have pressure. Men have pressure. There's no doubt about it. It's very different. And I think it has been women have spent so much time trying to fit into boxes, and men haven't had those same pressures. And it's very different. I can't speak for men. I'm welcome to bring a man on to speak to their pressures. I get it. I saw those Wall Street guys in their ties and their suits and their like, what do I do and what do I wear and blah. But it's very different for women. We've been so busy boxing ourselves in as to how we look.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And I think that goes, thank you, Law. Because the ladies have only been allowed to own property
Yeah.
since the early 70s.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
Well, first credit card was like 72,
Right?
I think, that a woman could have on her own. Actually, I think it was 72.
Yes.
And then property got like dicey at the turn of the century. There was like some
Right.
fiddly
And there
bits.
was some things that changed. But I think that is the issue, is that there's still a generation of, it is my generation, right? I'm an Xer, and we're still on the scale of our parents, and they're still thinking about these things like, oh, you have rights, but we're still, as an Xer, right? I am still trying, look at me today. Right. I am still trying to grab on to that 80s look. And should I be or not? It's a beauty thing.
Right.
I want both parts. And I think sometimes maybe men don't want you to have both parts.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. Like having both parts is hard because, like, again, back to Austin and all those things, like the period pieces and the Victorian stuff, like it's really fun to like watch, and like the horse-drawn carriages and the gallantness and the way civility was. But then you like fast forward and you're so busy being independent and
Right.
and pitching your own tent, so to speak. And then here you are. I mean, I look at Amelia's generation and they do everything. Literally, you guys are capable of doing so much. And they're so confident in some ways. And yet, it's so much of your generation that's auto-tuning, face tuning, body tuning, like changing who they are to these ridiculous standards of beauty that I'm kind of blown away because it is. So Gen X was the last generation that had parents that were corporate, right? Like the dad was still the corporate dad, and the mom might have worked, and she might have been really like cool and groovy, but it was, they still had the traditional roles, right? So it's Gen X still kind of has no roadmap. Gen X guys, Gen X, we have no roadmap, but millennials and Z behind us, their roadmap was blown up. Like they have all the bits and pieces. So it kind of blows my mind when I see the struggles still persisting.
But you're responsible, right? That's the whole thing, is that we've imbibed responsibility to the ladies
Yeah.
now, right? Because before, if you did something that was bad, beauty wise, or
Right.
had several boyfriends before you became engaged, then you're not wedding material. But we've given you, I guess, through 40 years of smart ability, is that a word, to make your own decision and responsibility.
And be who you are.
Right. And if you want to put your pick out there, if you want to do these things, then you can. I think that's the other thing is that we talked about this already. You can take 1,000 pictures tonight. You can go home, put them out there, put it on Instagram, and do all these things. I already told you to find the other bottle. There's another bottle.
I forgot. She was like, I can't miss any more.
And
I couldn't.
how do we know that's bad? Only in my grandma's opinion is that bad?
Right. And it is.
She's not going to be here much longer.
No, but
right?
also it's that roadmap. I was just talking about this roadmap with somebody. So like, it's freedom to express yourself. And I think we all need that freedom to express themselves in whichever capacity that makes sense. And I can't, like you and dancing.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not my thing.
it's not our thing. And that's okay. I can't.
But why isn't it?
Right.
That is a question. Like, is it because it's just not her thing, or is it because we've told her you have to
It's
do
not
it a certain
appropriate.
way?
Right.
Oh, I mean, I don't think so.
And you don't do it
like,
good enough
I
or
always
something.
like, I don't know. Maybe it's like a societal thing, but like, I remember like going home, my mom would always like dance to music when like cleaning the house.
like
Like
sway.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
sway,
know. I even when I was little, maybe I should ask my mom, but I don't even remember dancing when I was little. Like, I
I want
just
to sway with you in the inappropriate way. Like, look at she's trying to push water to me, but
Just put it in there. It'll activate the.
I'm good.
It'll activate. It'll activate the
I
whiskey.
got my whiskey.
Okay.
It'll activate. And that is.
I'm activated.
I am
I'm activated right now.
no.
Well,
but it's
and
not.
so the idea is, though, by the way, not to judge or push you in a way that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The question is it because we haven't experienced the opportunity and just don't know? You know, like if you didn't have dancing in your home, you might not know what it is to like bust a move, right? And my kids, unfortunately for them, know that old grandma's gonna bust a move, right?
Yeah.
And so for them, they're like, oh yeah, she's doing that again.
She's doing that thing again.
Yeah. Like,
But I think it is. I think it is.
I want to bust a move with
I
you.
know.
I think too, like
I want to get in a cottage. This is
Music-
back to that going to Chicago thing, or like Kentucky, or somewhere. Like Tennessee.
Tennessee, Kentucky, whatever.
That's our next move.
Exactly.
it's just really dancing. Like music has always been a part of my life.
Yeah.
So it's not
I
even
love
that. Like
it.
I played the piano, the flute, the
Oh my God,
violin.
she's
really?
very musical.
Oh, you're so musical.
Yeah, my brothers like were in jazz band, like all that kind of stuff. So it's just I don't
want
know.
you to. Oh yeah, no, I want
She
to get
doesn't
your music flowing. We have
Tap
to.
it out.
I
in
do.
your body.
Yeah, look at you. I'm tapping this.
Please, yeah, for
We're-
sure.
Okay, unfortunately for you, you're now going with a bunch of old ladies
Out
to like
dancing. Oh,
Chicago or to Tennessee or something, but you're with us. And
you know
you're,
what's-
by the way, bait. That's what we call
She
you.
is bait.
Old ladies call you bait because you're cute.
No, but you know what's really sad? When I was in my commercial real estate moment, we went to, oh my God, I'm blanking on it. It wasn't ICSC, but it's MAPEC, which is in Cannes in the south of France.
wanna
and
go
it's like one of those like big conventions. It's a convention.
Yeah,
It's like a typical convention.
They have swag.
Right, there's swag. Although we do have swag on the boat. I'm just saying, because I'm so corporate. I
You
like
are so
having
cool.
swag.
Yeah, we had totes.
And I
we had
am
this
again
boat.
saying I want to be
I
invited.
know. I do swag. So we've jokingly dubbed it the Island Lake Yacht Club. So now I'm making yacht club swag
Oh my
for the
God,
boat.
you're
Isn't that
amazing.
hilarious?
No, you're amazing.
So anyhow, at MAPIC in Cannes, there was one of of course, the whole thing is like one big freaking party. It's an excuse to party. And oh, by the way, we'll do a deal, right? I'm sure you guys have.
yeah, a little bit
conventions.
like that. Yeah.
So we were at this,
Look at her.
she's like, yep. So the dudes would like hook up with a girl for the entire week of MAPIC. So you'd go and like if you were like the guys would pick a girl.
Her face.
I could not.
She's like, I don't know what's
I
going
don't
on
even know
here.
what's happening.
I heard like bits and pieces of the story before, and every
This
time
is
I
the
hear it, it's
90s.
just
You
like,
weren't there. It was
No,
a different.
it was literally like 2 seconds ago.
thing.
It's a thing. So
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
Wow.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
So
It's like
they
the
would.
villages in Florida.
It's crazy. So there would be you'd pick the girls like you'd hook up for the week and then there were a lot of people who didn't, obviously, who were like regular people, but there were parties, and so there would be these big dances, and so like big
clubs,
clubby dances. And I remember going, and I love to dance, and so I was out there like rocking out, like just having a ball because it was smaller.
This is
Because
why we should vacation together. The four of
exactly.
us.
So the dancing was awesome, and it was European, so like it's smaller. It's not like American Miami
Yeah.
like nutty
Oh, no,
balls.
I totally
It was like more European, so it's smaller. It's just a little less
classier.
yeah, just a little less like massive. So anyhow, I'm out there dancing and I bumped into one of the other brokers who was there, and she was older than me, and she used to be an actual dancer, like ballet and stuff like that. So she loved any opportunity, and she was walking out and I was like catching my breath and like talking to some people, and she's like, yeah, I've got to go. And I'm like, oh, that's too bad. You should stay, whatever. And she's like, no. She's like, I always feel like there's this point as an older woman where I probably shouldn't stick it out. Like it becomes inappropriate.
Yeah, well, that is
And
the rules, right?
rules.
Rules.
The rules.
We watched you. We listened
I
to
know,
you.
right? So I thought that was so funny because like I got where she was coming from. Like I understood
right.
her
I know, I
point
get
of
it.
view because, you know, as the evening wore on or night wore on, she was becoming one of the older people in the
Yes,
room, right?
yes,
And it was
yes.
the Amelia 20-somethings, 30-somethings, and then, you know, she was, I don't know how old she was, but she was probably in her late 50s to 60s, maybe older. I don't know. It's always hard to tell.
Yeah.
I don't know. And to me, I was like, well, whatever. Like, you're super cute and like a cute little dancer. Like, why are you leaving? But she was like, well, it just feels inappropriate. And I got that because we're at a business convention too, PS, right?
Right.
So there
it's
is that
like,
element.
There are rules, right?
Right? You have to behave in a certain way. And so she didn't want to jeopardize people's opinions of her. But I thought, I don't see any of these men leaving.
No.
No matter what their age.
No.
I didn't see one man leaving.
It's a different playing field.
Isn't it though? And it's
Yeah.
so funny to me that it is, but it was. And the more the further away from all of it I got, and I can wear my Delta Burke makeup today, and wear ripped jeans or whatever I want any given day of the week. The more I want to empower women to feel like, okay, like, why are we, I mean, I get dress for your audience, understand who you're talking to. Like, you're not going to go to court and talk to a judge, even if I'm the defendant in ripped jeans and a grungy t-shirt. Like, that's just not respectful. I understand that. Dress appropriate. You're not going to go see your grandma in whatever. Like, you know.
You could choose to not wear like crop pants with your suit. And again, like, I tell my clients things like this, like, it doesn't matter how much you make per day. It matters what you would wear to church if you believed in it.
Right.
That's right. Like the respect of what you would wear there. That's what you wear to court or any of those other things. But from the attorney perspective, there is a lot of pressure, okay, on women. There's a lot of pressure on women, right? Because if you are too sexy, they quit listening to you.
Yeah.
But if you're not enough,
Attractive
they
enough,
almost
right.
don't.
So pretty much no one's going to listen to this podcast.
Well, I don't know. We're all hot, so maybe everyone's going to listen. But there is some of that, and you really have to balance it.
It's a
very difficult
balancing
thing
act.
between our clients and the judges, and it's an old system, but they want to see you being somewhat stylish. I mean, there's a lot, and I felt like I could dress one way in my 20s. But in my 30s and 40s, I could dress it different. Like I could get away with a sexier dress, I think, in my 40s than I could in my 20s. Because they look at me and my age. Oh, yes, girl. This is where age matters.
This is really what matters.
Like they don't assume I'm a whore. Like I hate to, that is the worst thing, but we have to deal with that in a way that men don't.
Yeah.
That's the absolute truth.
When I first moved
I can wear a shorter skirt than you can.
Yeah,
because I'm like 50 and old, and they go, "Isn't she cute, Grandma?" That's what they say about me. And you, they go, "Oh, you're a whore." And most of those, by the way, are women.
Yeah, it does come from other women. Yeah. It is wild.
It's not all men.
No, it's not.
Men are a little less, I think, actually, requiring of women than we think they are. They're like, oh, yeah, you look good.
Yeah. They're going to appreciate it.
Not.
Yeah, no, and it is. It's like we got to get out of our own way.
Yes. I love that. That's the truth.
You know, we've got to get out of our own way, which is what makes it really hard. I remember when I first moved here, too, I was used to being in New York, so you could go to bars or restaurants by yourself.
You're so cute. I
You know,
was
you
just
go
in
by
New York, and now I'm in.
Yes.
You want to put your cowboy boots on, come get my horse, and you and I will go to a bar together with her. My horse,
right?
By the way.
With the horse. I'm like, I don't know. It's like chicken wire and stuff. And
I got you.
It's crazy.
Chicken wire again.
I got you with the chicken wire. Like no matter what it is, if it's a farm or a horse or any of those things, I've got you.
I know. It blows my mind because and listen, like I said, I'm kind of handy. But when it comes down to it, when it gets into some of this stuff, I'm like,
it is, and it's like that whole idea too of the difference, right? Like so. We grew up in a community where our parents would help us figure out what it is that we did wipe off our makeup with.
Right.
So I was listening to you like scrubbing off your eye makeup in your podcast, but it was true because I was of the same age range, right? Like, and you'd scrub that pink bottle of like, what was it? Whatever. Yeah, like the mascara you put on, right? And the truth of the matter was our grandparents knew the stuff to just clean our faces from like plants and flowers around our farms, right? But we feel inadequate in some regards to what we have. She gave me recently the coolest thing. It was a spray, and I have it in my stupid little bag.
I know that you guys always talk about chemists and all these things.
Toner.
Yeah.
Made at home though.
I made an aloe and witch hazel toner.
Yeah. And I just sprayed on my face, and I'm like, because now I'm in my office more, and it's very nice, and we forget about that kind of stuff.
But I have a queen aloe plant at my house.
Of course, you have the queen.
She does.
It is.
But we don't have that like we should anymore.
She made a flower last year. It is a queen, and it's unusual for them to make a flower. And I made some aloe.
But that is the intriguing thing, and I think why we were so excited to have you guys on the podcast. We could talk forever, but
yes.
I mean, seriously,
I'm ready. By the way, I'm available tomorrow.
I'm available anytime.
I'm gonna have to go to the ladies' room.
I know, right?
Oh my God, she has to go.
I know, right?
So glad.
But I think that's what I find so intriguing about both of you is that here you have these like big time, quote unquote, like air quotes, jobs. You've gone to school for a long time. You've studied to be the people that you are. You went through your thing. Like, no, I'm not kidding. Like,
those poor girls, like, this is what you study to be.
No, I know, but seriously, like that, it is no small task.
Thank you.
To be where you are, right?
Yes.
And I'm not, I mean, it's no small task.
So wonderful for you.
So it is no small task to have accomplished what you've accomplished. But then, P.S., you're riding horses. You've got like pink camo guns. You've got like a farm and are like making.
Yeah, you have like an apple orchard. I feel like
she makes jam
and a queen aloe.
A queen aloe.
Let us get to this.
Oh yeah, let us get to this basket before we end.
Because we want you to see this. We love you.
This is the cutest
honestly,
thing ever. And Kit Kats, which
I want to throw out a Catherine Lytle throw.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because Catherine too is another girl that I love from your organization.
Yeah. She's the best.
So I'm throwing that out. I'm being hey, Catherine. And her horse, and I noticed you do too.
Robin. We know Robin.
You're so cute.
I've known Catherine since like kindergarten.
Oh, are you serious?
Amelia's
fucking
my
love you.
my
Dude,
pimp.
I have goddamn
She
love
is
Amelia.
She's my pimp. I have like half her family.
Amelia.
Literally, almost every person we've hired since I've started has been a person I have known.
Well, Amelia, you're just so amazing. And look how here's the thing, Amelia, I'm going to say this. Your age range, it comes through because your beautiful clothing and your beautiful face and you have gorgeous skin.
you.
But your maturity
Yeah.
shows an age range that is so much older like us, right? And I don't think that that's bad, by the way, because we're old. But you just have a unique quality, and it is really amazing. And I hope that you keep with us so that we can teach you things. But I hope that you send that on to those kids younger than you.
And I learn from Amelia all the time. Like, no joke, I learn. She pushes me. She does. She pushes me all the time. And I love that because you do. You push me all the time.
Cool.
Not only in like the store, like I feel like I can always ask questions and she'll be like, me, or yeah, or whatever. I mean, she's
seen
honest
you
with
work.
me. It's pretty hilarious.
It is.
It's very squirrely. And I'm
But
all
it's
over
good.
the place. You know, I'm like,
You two have worked together to put makeup on me.
yeah.
You two, and you talk
Yeah.
about things, and I go, oh, that's interesting what you two are talking about.
Yeah.
But you're talking about makeup shit and color wheels and stuff,
we
right?
often like tag team people.
Yeah, we
Like,
do.
You do her eyes, I'll start the base.
Right.
You do
Yeah,
her
we do.
lashes, I'll touch up her
But
hair
it's
a little bit.
that's it though, right? That's the team concept.
Yeah, no, it is.
And you know, you two talk about makeup, and I'm going to say this: you did a really cool thing for me because I'm someone who's like, I don't even know if I'm going to get makeup on today, like sometimes. And you put makeup on me, like she's going to the bathroom. You put makeup on me when I did the stuff with my horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't feel like I had makeup on.
No,
I really
you
will
wanna
say that. I
yeah.
did not feel like I had makeup on. You two, you did a beautiful job.
Oh, well, thank you. And those photos
yeah,
turned out
they were
beautiful.
beautiful.
Well,
Linda sent like the high res
amazing.
images to me. They were stunning.
So pretty.
Thank you.
Well, just to clarify
you
for
to help
people
me.
who are listening, so you have a horse farm, and like I said, back to this, like you guys, both you and Erika, you know, you've taken this very long road to get to your career path, which I mean, I don't care where you are as an attorney, it's a career path. Like
Yes.
it is a journey. There is no like three ways about it. And you could have stopped at any point along the way, but yet you have these full lives of other things and riches that are going on. You have your horse. Erika has her farm and her cool things that she does with her foods and like making you a toner and all those things. And it is a huge, I think it's that well-roundedness that makes for
Did she
compelling
make this?
people.
Yeah,
Of
she's
course
making me
she
so
did.
happy. Okay, we're doing it, and she wouldn't care.
I mean,
We're getting into it. What
I
do you
know,
have
right?
there?
She has that.
So this
Béarnaise
Erie,
sauce.
look at what this is, though. If
Erie?
you are
Like,
the
wait,
Erie,
is it
do
a
you watch
falcon?
like
a hawk?
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, yeah.
The Erie.
I have not.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
Okay,
Oh my
The
God.
Erie is
Well, let's take her away
area.
for a weekend.
No, but
Your
listen,
old lady
what
grandma's.
started
we need
this
you to
is
take
why
you.
I don't want to watch it is because everyone tells me I look like Amelia Clark.
Oh my, you're so cute.
And I don't want to watch me in a movie.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
She
Yeah,
does.
you do.
But
yeah,
no,
you
the
do.
Erie- the
Trust
Erie
me on
is
this.
an-
You do
is-
because you're so cute.
I know. So the Erie
so
is
good.
one of the areas in
Yeah.
Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
okay.
Yeah.
So
it's one of the
every
areas.
year, Erika's family makes it a totally new.
You have to- Mike.
Oh, sorry. I'm new at this. I
Gotta
gotta,
have her around
I
your
gotta
mic.
do this
We make
like
a new
she
label.
does. Like,
Ah,
no.
right.
So she makes a new label every year, and the Erie was the new label this year, and it's a beautiful label. And what was this one? Read the top of it.
It says Tomatillo Verde sauce.
Oh, we did this
This
together.
is the one
Yeah.
that we did together.
Yes, we did this together. So
Nurturing
tomatillos, we
and
grew
gathering
them.
since
This whole
1980.
thing, everything is fresh from the farm.
No, I think this is like the coolest thing. And that's what I love about the whole idea of like,
Oh, you need this too.
right, you have to put it all together and the apricots, which go with the cheese.
Oh,
Which is
Yes, I
Nalley.
love honey and the Parmesan.
Did we do everything else? And of course, we love champagne.
Of course. Well, it's so funny.
do this.
Parmesan. When I worked at McNamara owns. It's like in Reggio Emilia. They own the bank where all the Parmesan comes from.
Okay.
And so you could get they have wheels in the bank,
Huge ones,
huge
right?
wheels.
We want your wheels in the
know.
bank today because I will put that in soups, right?
Right?
The whole end. I did a vegetarian soup and they were like, "What is this piece
In your
And I looked
mic.
Sorry, and I did that, and it was the.
Oh, is that a pressed flower?
It
So I would put this out to your listeners that if you get
This is so pretty.
flowers, then
We just love you.
take the opportunity to press the flowers
Or
you're-
dry them. She's
or
dried
dry-
flowers I've gotten.
Dry all the
Okay,
flowers.
so I'm gonna end with something that's super crazy.
okay.
No,
So
this
look at
is
all
really
that.
We love
interesting
you.
about pressed flowers.
You're
Really
amazing.
pretty.
No, so what's crazy is my parents
To the
met right before my mother was leaving to become an au pair in Europe. And they met and they went on 3 dates. And the rest of their entire courtship was in letters.
I love
And
every minute.
So they spent a year writing. And these letters are not, there was no war going on or anything crazy, but it's watching their courtship from basically the point of meeting all the way through. And it was very innocent and lovely. He's asking her for pictures. He's not asking her for nudie pictures. He's asking for actual pictures.
A little different than you're used to.
Oh,
right?
yeah. And he's asking for those. But what was so amazing is she would press him. She was going with this family where the husband was an architect and he was helping design the 1959 Brussels World's Fair. Or 59, 57. And they took their kids and went over. And so she was there as the education person. There was a housekeeper who she became friends with. So she could travel and stuff while she was there and go places, but she was in Switzerland and
Amazing.
Brussels. They were based in Brussels and she went to Switzerland. And what was cool is she'd send my dad letters and it was on that old crinkly airmail paper.
Yeah.
But there would be flowers pressed in.
Look
Or
what
there would be this label from something she ate would be pressed into it. Or she'd had champagne with a friend and she'd take a bit of it or the cork and pop it in the thing. And I love that because it's personal.
It's
Well,
and even the word
you.
ephemera.
Right?
That is what that is, and even the word ephemera, it's romantic.
It
and something. And
is.
Heather watches
so
me.
we're teaching you this
Yes.
a bit, right?
Heather
because she gets this, right? There's a history to what we're doing here, and you are so sweet, and I assume you appreciate this. But I want you to hear what she's saying and what she's saying about this because there's more to it than just a thank you.
Yeah.
It's a history.
Heather
Yeah.
watches me all the time steal pieces of paper, and she's always like, "You're so cute. What's
Oh
going
my God.
on?"
What are you doing?
I bring in shit all the time for this girl. Like I just finished my Nivea cream and it's
Right.
the glass
Jar,
I give
right.
it to her.
Right.
She's gonna make something and she's gonna put it in there.
Right.
That's how it used to be. It wasn't all Chanel
No.
for years.
But there's something really special about that. And so as I was digging through my parents' letters, so I had a friend show up with a bottle of wine. And after, now they're both gone and she was like, have you read those letters? Because my parents said, we're not, they were like, you can't read these letters until we're dead. So when I was cleaning out the house, I knew where I'd found my mom's early on, but I couldn't find my dad's. And it was literally the last day I was cleaning out the house.
Oh my God.
Ian said to me,
Right?
have you looked under the house? I'm like, my mom said she cleaned it out. And he was like, we should check. And he pulls the thing out from under the house and he found 3 totes. And in one of those totes was this box with all of the other letters. So anyhow, crazy. But what was so insane was just, and it was, it took us, we got through 1 month in 4 hours. And there were 12 months of, it took forever. forever. And you'd watch this progression in these letters and how it progressed, but just the little things that were in different envelopes that they had kept. Yeah. Now, some of them had gotten pulled out, like a letter that it would reference like a letter or something. Yeah. And I'd be like, or it would reference like a photo. Yeah. And I'd be like, I feel like I've seen that photo, but it wouldn't be still with the letter. Right. So it is that ephemera. And I think it is like kissing a piece of paper. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Those lips. I think that's why we like the lips in all our stuff. There's something very like old school about leaving a lip print on something.
Well, it's energy, personal. Right? Energy can't be, it's not created and it doesn't go away, right? Isn't that what our science says? Right. So that energy that's put into the letter or the kiss or whatever it is, it's still lingering there because it's energy.
It's energy. It's like the perfume on it, like you used to spray like with
like
perfume.
People will say I smelled it and it didn't smell the same. Yeah. Or any of those things. It evokes memories.
It evokes memories. And I think it's really cool. And I think part of culturally, like, I love that. Like, I love that part. And I love that you guys are these like attorneys, like going in, kicking ass and taking names every day. But then at the same time, like you're like making things and you're doing things and you're connecting with nature and you're riding a horse or you're digging in the ground or harvesting an aloe plant. And I also
we still want this to be our earth. Right. In the end, like all of it, what we put on our face, what we wear, what we heat our homes with. I mean, it's a whole thing. And I know we're not politics or anything at this point, and I'm not trying to be that. Yeah. But I just want to care.
Care. Exactly.
I just want to care.
We want to care, and I think that dialogue is so mission. Woo,
Jesus,
she's losing her earphones.
I can't control my shit.
But that is mission, right? We do, but it's mission critical these days, and that's why we want these conversations to continue about who we are and what we do, and that you can be all these things we can be all those little parts combined. We can be it's I don't know. I just love the fact that you guys are who you are. You guys have these amazing careers and lives and find that balance every day. It's why we wanted to talk to you, because that balance is so cool, and that you guys have that sense of yourselves, which we love. So
thank you very much.
So grateful that you guys came in tonight and joined us here and talked about all this fun stuff. And we love that you'll continue to wear your lashes and your red lipstick and your
Brighton.
You help me. I'm telling you, you have no idea.
No, we love it.
You help us.
No, we love it. And I think it's an important conversation for women to have, and have women to look up to for whatever the reason, right? Like we can all look up to each other for the varying reasons and the things that we bring to the table, and all these beautiful things that are sitting on our table. I can't wait to indulge in.
Well, this are, I know. Yes, like you two. Okay, so you sit here all day and you say, here's what we do for you, and thank you, right? But the truth is, we don't. I said it in the beginning, we don't have time. And you two really do a lot of the work for us and make us feel okay for being like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, what do I put on my eyes and what do I put on first? And you've told me before, I mean, I will say it. I've walked into your store, I throw my stuff on your couch, and I've said, I need a face scrub. And I grabbed a sample. And you said, that's stupid. Get the full size. Like, you use it all the time. Like, you're dumb for getting that. And I appreciated it.
Right.
So those are the things.
Well, we have fun.
Honestly.
And we go through it too.
It's
We're always
true.
We go through it too. So it's merely us expressing ourselves back at you. Because like the Deltaburg thing, I had a lot of questions about today. But here we are.
You're
but
so beautiful. That's both of you.
80s.
You're on it.
We're on
make
it.
us
The
feel
80s,
like
man.
80s.
Oh my God. And you know, Designing Women is on Hulu or Netflix. It was for a
love
hot
them.
minute.
I
I was
love
very
them.
excited about that.
That show.
Oh my gosh, that was such a great
Well,
show.
again, businesswomen, but we
I
have
know.
to do a secondary session.
Secondary session on that. So thank you guys so much.
Yes, it's been so much
This has been so
fun.
much fun. We're gonna have to do it again. If not, we're gonna do the traveling pants.
Oh, we're going,
right.
right?
We're
We're
just
going
going to Kentucky or
Louisville.
wherever.
Well, I think the traveling thing would be a great idea, and I have the ability to make us have like a homegrown trip.
I love that.
So if you want that, you come to me. Number one. Number two.
Okay.
We would like to invite the two of you to the polo.
Right.
Yes. It's
you-
at the
Oh.
Heartland Polo Fields. And January.
No. June.
June.
June 12th.
Okay.
J-Mud.
You're out.
June 12th. So
I'm not
bring
driving.
you
Okay.
and your partner and you and your partner.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So it could be 2 or 4.
Okay,
Please feel
cool.
free. And we have a beautiful, like, come to your grandma's old fashioned kitchen. That's our whole like tent.
Theme. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
And she shed out of like Heartland.
How
I'm
you
throwing it
advertise-
out.
You're advertising for all
Yeah,
these people
I am.
on their podcast.
She shed. Okay, do you know She Shed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we went over there and we're like, hey, She Shed, we want to make this like my grandma's like dining room kitchen or something.
Right.
Right? For like the old fashioned.
Right.
We come in and we have like lemonade and all that shit. And like,
Right.
and she said, I will do it all for free.
Oh,
I sweat you.
love
Like
that.
seriously, she said you bring your trailer. I'll bring your trailer out like 3 days before. She's gonna fill it. We're gonna
I
take it over
love
our
it.
tent. And
Oh, I love
seriously,
that.
Christy Ellis
You guys
is gonna
come.
just fill it.
I love it.
I mean, honestly, really.
people out,
and,
like-
and I go, oh, we'll give you a ticket, thinking I'm being like super fancy, and she's like, I don't need anything. She's just, you're really kind, and she's so, again, back to this whole women.
I know.
Right, like supporting other women.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're like sitting here to you. Like, you want to take it? You please come because we want to embrace the people who are helping us.
Well,
I
and
mean,
it makes such a difference. It,
it makes
does.
me sad. Like, it's sad that we have to be
Sad.
that way. Well, it's sad that we have to
Happy.
be this way, right? Like, men don't have to do this,
Well, they do it on the golf course.
right? Okay,
They do
fair
do it
enough.
on the golf course. I mean, that was
Fair
the thing
enough.
as an entrepreneur I
Right.
learned very quickly. 7% of all funding goes to women. 7%.
That's not a lot.
And that's crazy, but that's because it's all being done on the golf course and out in the world. And, whatever.
Go to She Shed.
I
That's
know.
what
Go to She Shed.
I walked in.
London
we walked in. We're like, we
Beauty,
want this, and
downtown
this, and she
Brighton.
said, okay. I like that. She's a good girl.
But that's the thing. It's really crazy. And that's why I think it's really cool when you connect women to women because they recognize that, hey, we're not, this is how business gets done for us. So it's not on the golf course. This is how we're getting it
Right.
done. And I love that. And and that's the thing in downtown Brighton. That's how we're getting work done. There's 80% of the businesses or 70 to 80% are all
amazing.
women,
Women
running them. But do you know that they're only like on the councils, there's like one.
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 No, we all understand.
So, this is how
You're
it
aware.
gets done. This is how it gets done. So
yes.
I know Erica's trying so hard. She's
We
such a-
know.
We know. But that's,
But you're right.
that's why we're activating our
and
back.
you need to understand, right? Like this
Amelia
is what you
needs
have
to
to
get
deal
onto
with.
the board.
I know. We need to put Amelia on the board.
No, see, that's why you're making you're making that face.
All right, so this
All right,
is
yes. You're making that face, but
She's getting a kiss
You're
on
the
her
one.
cheek.
oh,
But
we
yeah,
might
so
need a second session.
therapy session. This is like therapy. So
Like we
thank you
should.
guys.
Me
Oh, I
too.
know.
thank you.
This has been amazing. So again,
you.
Heather Nalley, Erika McNamara. You can find them, Google them, do your thing. I super need both of you in the upcoming
Stalk us.
future. Oh my God, I do.
We have you.
So please, everybody who's listening, check them out. If you need their services, hit them up. They're amazing at what they do, and couldn't be easier to talk to. So we love that you guys are in our court. We love that you guys are here, period, in Livingston County, for all women. We love that, and men too. We're not
Some
leaving
men,
them out.
yeah,
We're not leaving them off the
not against
tribe,
the
right?
men's.
We're not against them. We're join our campfire,
Right,
So
right.
that is all. We're all about it. So I think that is everything. Poor Johnny. Oh
my God,
sitting
he's
over there,
been-
glazing over. I did.
He
tell.
has been so
He's
amazing.
a trooper. So the studio's amazing. Johnny is being great. He doesn't have a mic tonight. Otherwise, I'd put him on the spot.
He's been so cool.
such a
like,
trooper.
Give us a
right
thumbs
from the
up.
beginning.
Was it good? Was it bad?
He's
yeah.
back there all the time with the thumbs up.
I know. Bless his little cotton socks. So Johnny has been a trooper for us. So thank you, Johnny. Thank you to all our listeners. We will be back next week.
Yes.
We have a couple of surprises for next week.
It's gonna be a good episode.
Yes, I love that.
No surprises.
Hi, Noma, and I.
Oh, hey, Oma Temple Bomb. It's amazing.
You were like, she was really ridiculous. She was like,
You got to talk in the mic.
oh, sorry. She was like really ridiculous. She was like, you have to make sure you get the code.
Code.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm
still
going to tell
out
you,
there.
I'm using the shit out of it, and I listened to your podcast. I don't
my
know
God,
what the
too
code
funny.
is. So.
And I know what the code. I know the secret code. So get excited. Next week we've got some fun things coming, and thank you again, you guys. And
Thank
we
you.
will wrap this one up. And
Thank you. Thanks, Speakeasy.
yeah,
You guys
thanks,
have both been
Speakeasy.
amazing.
Yeah. So Amelia and I will see you at the store.
Yes.
You know where to find us.
Have a good week.
Have a good week. We will see you next week, everybody. Oh shit! Bye bye.
Bye. I'm like dropping shit. I didn't know it would come off my head.